Hello, everyone! Welcome back to our English speaking course. If you've been following every episode from the beginning, congratulations! You've already built a strong foundation in English.
That's right. In today's episode, we're raising the bar. From now on, we're not just learning English, we're learning how to express ideas with precision, confidence, and sophistication.
Exactly. Many learners can communicate basic ideas, but advanced speakers know how to explain opinions, negotiate politely, disagree respectfully, and sound natural in almost every situation.
Today's lesson is designed to help you bridge the gap between simply speaking English and speaking it fluently and intelligently.
We'll introduce advanced vocabulary, complex sentence structures, useful expressions, and practical examples that native speakers use every day.
Some expressions may seem challenging at first, but don't worry. Listen carefully, repeat after us, and try using them in your own conversations.
When we're beginners, we usually say things like, "I think you're wrong."
That's understandable, but advanced speakers often soften their opinions. Instead of sounding direct, they sound respectful and thoughtful.
For example, instead of saying, "You're wrong," you can say, "I'm not entirely convinced that's the case."
Or you could say, "I see where you're coming from, but I have a slightly different perspective."
Notice how these sentences don't create conflict. They invite discussion.
Another useful expression is, "While I appreciate your point, I believe there's another way to look at it."
Let's compare. Simple English: I disagree. Advanced English: I'm afraid I don't completely share that viewpoint.
Another example. Simple: that's not true. Advanced: I'm not sure the evidence fully supports that conclusion.
Suppose your colleague says remote work reduces productivity. You might respond, "I understand why some people feel that way." However, recent studies seem to suggest that productivity often depends more on management style than workplace location.
That's a sophisticated response because you acknowledge the other person's opinion before presenting your own.
Remember this structure. I understand your point. Nevertheless, I appreciate your opinion. However, that may be true to some extent, but.
Using these expressions makes you sound calm, confident, and professional.
One of the biggest differences between intermediate and advanced speakers is precision.
Intermediate learners often use words like good, bad, nice, or big. Advanced speakers choose words that describe exactly what they mean.
Instead of saying, "The presentation was good," try, "The presentation was exceptionally well-structured and highly informative." Instead of, "The movie was bad," say, "The storyline lacked originality and failed to maintain my interest." Let's look at another example. Instead of saying, "She's smart," you could say, "She has remarkable analytical skills and consistently makes well-informed decisions."
Instead of, "The problem is big," say, "The issue is considerably more complex than it initially appears."
Precision shows that your vocabulary is rich and your thinking is organized.
Whenever you speak English, ask yourself, can I replace this simple adjective with something more specific?
For example, interesting becomes fascinating. Happy becomes delighted. Sad becomes devastated. Angry becomes frustrated. Careful becomes meticulous. Fast becomes rapid. Important becomes crucial.
The more specific your vocabulary becomes, the more natural your English will sound.
Advanced English isn't only about difficult words, it's also about connecting ideas smoothly.
Instead of speaking in short sentences, advanced speakers combine several ideas into one coherent sentence.
Listen to this. I missed the train, I arrived late. That's perfectly correct, but an advanced speaker might say, having missed the train, I inevitably arrived later than expected.
Another example. Simple. It was raining. We continued walking. Advanced. Despite the heavy rainfall, we decided to continue our journey.
Here's another. Simple. I was tired. I finished my work. Advanced. Although I was completely exhausted, I was determined to finish the task before leaving.
Notice how conjunctions make your speech more elegant. Although, whereas, nevertheless, nonetheless, accordingly, consequently, provided that, insofar as, even though, not only, but also.
Let's build a longer sentence. Not only did the company improve its customer service, but it also introduced several innovative products, which significantly strengthened its reputation.
That's exactly the kind of sentence you'll hear in professional meetings and university lectures.
Today, let's learn some advanced collocations. Remember, collocations are words that naturally go together.
Instead of memorizing single words, memorize these combinations. Raise awareness, reach a conclusion, meet expectations, exceed expectations, draw attention, pose a challenge, take responsibility, gain experience, break the habit, deliver results.
Let's hear them in context. The campaign successfully raised awareness about environmental issues.
After reviewing all the evidence, we finally reached a conclusion.
Our new employee exceeded everyone's expectations.
The project posed several unexpected challenges.
Our manager always encourages us to take responsibility for our decisions.
Years of international travel allowed her to gain invaluable experience.
When you learn vocabulary in groups like this, your English becomes much more natural.
Many learners believe advanced English means using extremely difficult words. Actually, that's not true.
The goal isn't to impress people. The goal is to communicate clearly while sounding confident.
Instead of saying, I don't know, you might say, I'm not entirely certain.
Instead of, I forgot, say, it completely slipped my mind.
Instead of, I understand, try, that makes perfect sense. Or, I completely follow your reasoning.
Instead of, I agree, you could say, I couldn't agree more. Or, that's a perfectly valid point.
Instead of, I'll think about it, say, I'll certainly give it some thought.
Instead of, maybe, try, there's a strong possibility.
Let's listen to a natural conversation. I was wondering whether you'd be interested in collaborating on this project. That certainly sounds interesting. I'd like to consider all the details before making a final decision. I completely understand. Take all the time you need. Thank you. I'll get back to you as soon as I've reached a decision.
Notice how polite, fluent, and professional that conversation sounds.
Welcome back! In part 1, we focused on speaking with precision and expressing opinions diplomatically. Now it's time to make your English sound even more natural.
One of the biggest differences between textbook English and real-life English is the use of phrasal verbs. Native speakers rely on them constantly.
Let's begin with carry out. Instead of saying the company conducted an investigation, you can say the company carried out an investigation.
Another useful one is figure out. Instead of saying, I finally understood the solution, say, I finally figured it out.
Next is bring up. You can say, I'd like to bring up an important issue before we finish today's meeting.
How about come up with? We need to come up with a more effective strategy.
Here's another common one, look into. Our manager promised to look into the complaint immediately.
Don't forget turn down. She turned down the job offer because it didn't align with her long-term goals.
Another excellent expression is work out. Everything worked out better than we had expected. Let's hear them in one conversation. I'd like to bring up a concern. Of course, we'll look into it as soon as possible. Perhaps we can come up with a better solution. I think everything will work out in the end.
Idioms add personality to your English. However, you should use them naturally, not in every sentence.
Let's start with the ball is in your court. It means it's your turn to make a decision. The proposal has been approved. Now the ball is in your court. Next is once in a blue moon. I only eat fast food once in a blue moon. Another useful idiom is hit the nail on the head. You hit the nail on the head when you said communication was the biggest problem. Here's one you'll hear often. Break the ice. She told a funny story to break the ice at the beginning of the meeting. What about under the weather? I've been feeling a little under the weather, so I decided to stay home. Finally, go the extra mile. Our teacher always goes the extra mile to help students succeed. Remember, idioms should sound effortless. If you force too many into one conversation, your English may sound unnatural.
Welcome back! In part 1, we focused on speaking with precision and expressing opinions diplomatically. Now it's time to make your English sound even more natural.
One of the biggest differences between textbook English and real-life English is the use of phrasal verbs. Native speakers rely on them constantly.
Let's begin with carry out. Instead of saying the company conducted an investigation, you can say the company carried out an investigation.
Another useful one is figure out. Instead of saying, I finally understood the solution, say, I finally figured it out.
Next is bring up. You can say, I'd like to bring up an important issue before we finish today's meeting.
How about come up with? We need to come up with a more effective strategy.
Here's another common one, look into. Our manager promised to look into the complaint immediately. Don't forget turn down. She turned down the job offer because it didn't align with her long-term goals. Another excellent expression is work out. Everything worked out better than we had expected. Let's hear them in one conversation. I'd like to bring up a concern. Of course, we'll look into it as soon as possible. Perhaps we can come up with a better solution. I think everything will work out in the end.
Many learners believe advanced English means using extremely difficult words. Actually, that's not true.
The goal isn't to impress people. The goal is to communicate clearly while sounding confident.
Instead of saying, I don't know, you might say, I'm not entirely certain.
Instead of, I forgot, say, it completely slipped my mind.
Instead of, I understand, try, that makes perfect sense. Or, I completely follow your reasoning.
Instead of, I agree, you could say, I couldn't agree more. Or, that's a perfectly valid point.
Instead of, I'll think about it, say, I'll certainly give it some thought.
Instead of, maybe, try, there's a strong possibility.
Let's listen to a natural conversation. I was wondering whether you'd be interested in collaborating on this project. That certainly sounds interesting. I'd like to consider all the details before making a final decision. I completely understand. Take all the time you need. Thank you. I'll get back to you as soon as I've reached a decision.
Notice how polite, fluent, and professional that conversation sounds.
Today, let's learn some advanced collocations. Remember, collocations are words that naturally go together.
Instead of memorizing single words, memorize these combinations. Raise awareness, reach a conclusion, meet expectations, exceed expectations, draw attention, pose a challenge, take responsibility, gain experience, break the habit, deliver results.
Let's hear them in context. The campaign successfully raised awareness about environmental issues.
After reviewing all the evidence, we finally reached a conclusion.
Our new employee exceeded everyone's expectations.
The project posed several unexpected challenges.
Our manager always encourages us to take responsibility for our decisions.
Years of international travel allowed her to gain invaluable experience.
When you learn vocabulary in groups like this, your English becomes much more natural.
Advanced learners should be able to discuss abstract ideas, not just everyday situations. Let's talk about technology. Technology has undoubtedly transformed the way we communicate. While it offers countless advantages, it has also introduced challenges that previous generations never had to face. For example, although social media enables people to stay connected across the globe, excessive use can negatively affect mental well-being and productivity. That's an excellent point. In addition, the rapid development of artificial intelligence has raised important ethical questions regarding privacy, employment, and decision-making. Now let's discuss education. Traditional classrooms continue to play an essential role. Nevertheless, online learning has made education considerably more accessible. However, accessibility alone doesn't guarantee quality. Students still require motivation, discipline, and meaningful interaction with teachers. Let's move on to success. Many people assume that success depends entirely on intelligence. Personally, I believe consistency, resilience, and lifelong learning are equally important. I couldn't agree more. Temporary failures often provide valuable lessons that ultimately contribute to long-term success. I've been reflecting on how quickly technology is changing our daily lives. Sometimes I wonder whether we're becoming more connected or simply more dependent on our devices.
That's an interesting observation. Personally, I think technology is neither entirely beneficial nor entirely harmful. Its impact largely depends on how responsibly we choose to use it.
Exactly. While digital tools have undoubtedly increased efficiency, they've also reduced the amount of genuine face-to-face interaction.
I agree. Furthermore, many people find themselves constantly distracted by notifications, making it increasingly difficult to focus on meaningful work.
Another concern is the overwhelming amount of information available online. Although access to knowledge has never been easier, distinguishing reliable information from misinformation has become a significant challenge.
That's absolutely true. Critical thinking has become more important than ever before. Rather than accepting everything at face value, we should evaluate evidence carefully before forming conclusions.
The same principle applies to professional life. Employers are no longer looking only for technical skills. They're also searching for individuals who can communicate effectively, solve problems creatively, and collaborate with diverse teams.
Precisely. Strong communication skills often determine whether an excellent idea succeeds or fails. Even the most innovative solution may go unnoticed if it isn't presented clearly and persuasively.
I've also realized that lifelong learning is becoming essential. The world changes so rapidly that people who stop learning eventually fall behind.
Absolutely. Continuous improvement isn't about being perfect. It's about remaining curious, adaptable, and willing to learn from both success and failure.
That's a mindset every English learner should adopt. Fluency isn't achieved overnight. It's the result of consistent effort, regular practice, and the courage to make mistakes.
And perhaps the most important lesson is this: don't compare your progress with someone else's. Compare today's version of yourself with yesterday's. Every conversation you have, every book you read, every podcast you listen to, and every mistake you correct brings you one step closer to fluency.
Exactly.
Confidence grows through action, not perfection.
Congratulations on completing episode 6. This was our most advanced lesson so far. And if you understood most of today's discussion, you've made remarkable progress in your English speaking journey. Don't worry if some expressions seem difficult. Advanced English takes time to master. Listen to this episode again, repeat the sentences aloud, and try using the new vocabulary in your daily conversations. Remember, fluency isn't about using the most difficult words, it's about expressing your ideas naturally, accurately, and confidently.
If you enjoyed this lesson and found it helpful, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with friends who are also learning English.
Thank you for spending your time with us today. We're proud to be part of your English learning journey.
We'll see you in episode 7, where we'll take your English to an even higher level with more advanced speaking techniques, vocabulary, and real-life conversations. Until then, keep practicing, keep learning, and never stop improving. Goodbye!